Hi, this is Crypto's Noob. Welcome to episode 6 of my Gods Unchained beta post-match review and strategy discussion. This will be my first one with the 0.10 release, which added quite a few new cards and also gave us a couple of new card abilities, which were Sleep and Backline. This match, I am playing a Magic deck versus ConflictedNewton, who is playing a light Equinox deck, which is widely regarded as one of the stronger options in the game, simply for its rush potential. The basic idea is that you summon these creatures that are very cheap, and hopefully also summon somebody with them, such as the Nimble Pixie, which he has out here. And you have your 0 power God ability, which means by as early as turn 2 or even turn 1, you could potentially have 6 2/2s out on the board and just simply overwhelm your opponent before they can even get a chance to do much of anything. And I think we're going to see some of that here from Newton. He already has 4 guys out against my 1 townsfolk. In his preferred match, he'd probably have something like the card shark in his hand, where he had played, and then he had 6 creatures out, including a 2/2 front line. Instead, he brings out a spider, clears out my townsfolk, and starts beating on me. Now, I'm playing a Magic deck here. So it really isn't one of my favorite, but it is kind of fun. I had originally wanted to try to create a creatureless deck, just using spells and weapons and such, but that is not possible at the moment with the cards we have. So this deck, I don't really know where I'm going with it. I just basically have a lot of spells and other fun stuff to play with, such as a Mana Toad. So the counter to the Equinox is being able to survive long enough to be able to use one of my clearing spells, which I have in my hand, the Faraday Cage and the Crystal Rain. So, but we're only on turn 2, and it's already looking a little grim. I do have a Raving Fan out, which he'll need to sacrifice somebody to get rid of. Oh, or maybe not, if he buffs up his spider. And brings out a second spider. So one thing about the Equinox play is that it's very reliant on winning early. If I can hold out long enough to clear out his guys, then he'll have just a regular light deck, which is still pretty strong, but he won't have any special abilities. And you can see he only has 1 card in his hand right now, so he's not probably going to be playing a bunch of cards all at once. So now to turn 3, I have my Mana Toad out, which if it dies will give me an extra mana. Well, it'll give me an extra mana unlock. And that will give me the option of doing possibly the Crystal Rain. And here it begins laying into me, down to 19 health. And I get a wall, which is kind of nice. Don't have quite enough for the Crystal Rain yet. Decide to go ahead and kill myself. Kill my toad under the spider, unlock another mana. And here I discover that refreshing a mana does not refresh one that was just unlocked. I'm not sure if that's by design or not. I did report it in the Discord chats, but I've been hoping to pull up my 5th mana and use the Crystal Rain, clear his guys off, and then summon the wall. Instead, I summon the wall first, So I can use the Faraday cage. And now we're looking good. I have the wall out. I'll be able to summon the Rolling Watcher next turn. I have Crystal Rain in my hand in case he somehow pulls out a bunch of creatures all at once. And I have my Foresee, or Clear Mind, God Power, so that's me. Look ahead and choose which cards I want to bring out. I have the Exo Scout and the Rune Storm coming up. Both those look good to me. Exo Scout will help keep his creature population down, help me control the board. Rune Storm will give me a whole selection of runes, which is always fun, because that gives you plenty of options. I think this pause is because I didn't realize I had not yet hit end turn. I was sitting around waiting for ConflictedNewton to do something. And finally I realize it now. As time runs short, I decided to let it run out. Sometimes the game does weird things. If you end turn right as the time is running out, or animations are happening. So now I feel like I have control of the board. I have my wall out, I have my Rolling Watcher. He brings out a couple of undead guys. Don't really feel too worried about that. It'll take a couple of turns to get through my wall. In the meantime, my Watcher will be getting stronger. He uses his staff to take a first shot at the wall. Bring out the Exo Scout. That'll do damage to the first creature he summons each turn. Hoping to keep him, his creature low, so there we deal with somebody. I think it was, gave him a rune or two. At this point I feel pretty good. Well, since the Rune of Fire takes out my Rolling Watcher, and his creatures go ahead and finish up on my wall. I don't want to really sacrifice my Exo Scout. I like having his ability around. Unfortunately, I cast the Rune Storm and then don't have any mana left to do anything with the runes. Decide to move the Erupt to the bottom of my deck. Take another Rune Storm coming up. And just go ahead and do damage to him while I can. We'll probably kill my Exo Scout this turn. But I'm hoping he has to sacrifice all his guys in the process. Instead, he buffs up his skeleton. Single-handedly takes out the Exo Scout, leaving me open for a little bit of pecking damage. And now suddenly control of the board is switched around to Newton's advantage. I do have a handful of runes, but I have no creatures to really force it with. But I can just start sort of dishing out some damage. Crystal Rain is probably not worth it to use on just the two creatures. Should save that for an emergency. I gotta do a Rune of Fire. Got a skeleton. the Ruin of Life trick where I heal this guy. That doesn't make a difference because he's already at this maximum health. I give myself +6 health. And let's go ahead and look forward and draw a card. That looks like a good combo there. A Mire Bloodworm and a clone. That'll give me some frontline defense. And then an opportunity for somebody to use my runes on. And then here he summons Anubis, who has the backline ability. Backline ability means that creature can't be attacked until all other creatures without backline have been killed first. So it's sort of the opposite of frontline. I think this guy's power gives him, lets him draw a card when creatures are destroyed or something like that. It's also a 4/7. Go ahead and clone my Bloodworm. Bring one of them out. And go ahead and look forward. Lost in the Depths is kind of a fun card. It resets your whole deck with random cards. It can be any class or any god. So that can be kind of fun, but it's not really a great strategy because you won't necessarily have any synergy with any of your cards in deck. But it can be good if you suddenly find yourself in a bad spot because it does let you get all those creatures with, or get those cards with a reduced mana cost. And here we go, all of a sudden Newton pulls a bunch of cards out. He has a full board and the good old Amplorial Shard. This is one of my least favorite cards in the game, and some other folks kind of agree with that. It really makes the game not fun because it's a frontline deadly creature and it duplicates itself every single time you summon it. So even if you kill it, it never goes away. You always have to deal with it because it's frontline and deadly. And it can also attack. So if you don't kill it, then it's gonna kill one of your creatures. So here I pull out that Crystal Rain, which I've had since the beginning of the game. Clear out most of his cards, leave only Anubis there. And go ahead and hit him with the Bloodworm. Give him a burn. So we'll get him out of the way. A couple of turns, hopefully. And there we go, there comes the shard right back again. Kills my worm. Goes ahead and send the Anubis in. Do 4 damage to me. So I do have lots of cards in my hand I can do things with, the Rune Storm and the Beam. Thinking about using Recursion to try to steal something from him. But having that shard just come back turn after turn makes it pretty much impossible to keep any creatures on the board. You just have to kind of accept that any creatures are going to be killed that you bring out. Unless you have one of those decks like Newton has here where you have the creatures that double summon. But even then you're not going to be drawing those as quickly as you want to. But since the shard duplicates itself, you get little fun tricks like this where he now has 8 mana, so he can summon it twice and end up with 2 in his hand. And just beating on me, tearing my guys down. So at this point, I think my only option comes down to maybe trying to burn him down. If I can pull up enough damage spells to kill Newton before his creatures can get to me. Use beam to clear out one of the shards. Bring him down to 18. Thinking about using the recursion spell to grab something from his void. I do. And handily end up with 2 runes of fire. So now I have 3 runes of fire in my hand, which is good for 9 damage, half his health. So go ahead and use one. End my turn. How else I'm going to be able to do damage to him, I'm not sure. I'll have to pull something up out of my deck. Or possibly another rune storm. Now he has 3 shards out. I think he probably has 2 in his hand at this point. Plus another frontline protected 2/2. So it's getting pretty ugly here. Go ahead and foresee what's coming up. And Worm Breath. That's exactly what I need. Let me do some damage to him. Decide to go ahead and keep both of them. Oh, nope, sorry. I thought I was going to keep the fortress and bring it out just for defense. But I guess with the deadly it doesn't matter because it will only lasted 1 turn. Instead I go with the Worm Breath, hit him with the Rune of Fire. Bring him down to 7. And that's about it for me. So we'll at least make it close. He's got 5 damage coming in at me this turn. Bring me down to 9. Oh, except he buffs up one of his shards. Oh, buffs up 2 of his shards. Now things are looking really ugly. Basically I have 1 turn to try to kill him. All I have is a Rune of Fire. I can summon some guys, but he doesn't have to attack them in the front line. At this point I begin to wonder if maybe I should have used Lost in the Depths earlier. And just taking my chances, whatever I got. I do use a Rune of Life, heal myself a little bit more of a cushion, but I suspect he's going to be able to pull out. Actually, he has exactly 11 damage, right? I know he has 10. He'll find a way to pull out another damage, I'm sure. Decide to go ahead and look ahead in my deck. Very familiar. Useful, but a little too late for that. Any good. And here I do use Lost in the Depths. Hoping for 1 more turn of life. Newton definitely has me on the ropes here. Summons a legendary young Manaborn. Sacrifices 2 of his creatures. I've probably just gone for the damage myself. But I guess he's potentially worried about me buffing up the Watcher and getting past his front line somehow. And now I really have nothing. Signal scouts do not help. Can foresee. Again, nothing really great there. Reflection Ominous, but it's not front line, so it doesn't matter. Do have my Rune of Fire. Decided to go ahead and use the Levitate for all the Reflection Ominous just for fun. There I go ahead and use the Rune of Fire. Let him know that there's at least a close game. And I don't even bother summoning the Elementalist. Just get this over with. So there you have it. As the first game, it was a defeat, unfortunately for me, but it was a good example of the power of the Equinox deck. Even though I was able to clear off his initial Equinox rush, he was still able to come back. It also shows the power of the Imperial Shard, and just how kind of ludicrous it gets, especially when you start buffing it up, because it's can duplicate itself with its buffs and just end up with some crazy things to get through. Anyway, thanks for listening, and I hope you are around next time.